Hello everyone, I am so happy that you're here and welcome to lesson number 76 of A Course in Miracles. I am under no laws but God's. We have observed before how many senseless things have seemed to you to be salvation. Each has imprisoned you with laws as senseless as itself. You are not bound by them. Yet, to understand that this is so, you must first realize salvation lies not there. While you would seek for it in things that have no meaning, you bind yourself to laws that make no sense. Thus do you seek to prove salvation is where it is not. Today we will be glad you cannot prove it. For if you could, you would forever seek salvation where it is not and never find it. The idea for today tells you once again how simple is salvation. Look for it where it waits for you, and there it will be found. Look nowhere else, for it is nowhere else. Think of the freedom in the recognition that you are not bound by all the strange and twisted laws you have set up to save you. You really think that you would starve unless you have stacks of green paper strips and piles of metal discs. You really think a small round pellet or some fluid pushed into your veins through a sharpened needle will ward off disease and death. You really think you are alone unless another body is with you. It is insanity that thinks these things. You call them laws and put them under different names in a long catalog of rituals that have no use and serve no purpose. You think you must obey the laws of medicine, of economics, and of health. Protect the body and you will be saved. These are not laws, but madness. The body is endangered by the mind that hurts itself. The body suffers just in order that the mind will fail to see it is the victim of itself. The body's suffering is a mask that mind holds up to hide what really suffers. It would not understand it is its own enemy, that it attacks itself and wants to die. It is from this your laws would save the body. It is for this you think you are a body. There are no laws except the laws of God. This needs repeating over and over until you realize it applies to everything that you have made in opposition to God's will. Your magic has no meaning. What it is meant to save does not exist. Only what it is meant to hide will save you. The laws of God can never be replaced. We will devote today to rejoicing that this is so. It is no longer a truth that we would hide. We realize instead it is a truth that keeps us free forever. Magic imprisons, but the laws of God make free. The light has come because there are no laws but His. We will begin the longer practice periods today with a short review of the different kinds of laws we have believed we must obey. These would include, for example, the laws of nutrition, of immunization, of medication, and of the body's protection in innumerable ways. Think further. You believe in the laws of friendship, of good relationships and reciprocity. Perhaps you even think that there are laws which set forth what is God and what is yours. Many religions have been based on this. They would not save but damn in heaven's name. Yet they are no more strange than other laws you hold must be obeyed to make you safe. There are no laws but God's. Dismiss all foolish, magical beliefs today, and hold your mind in silent readiness to hear the voice that speaks the truth to you. You will be listening to one who says there is no loss under the laws of God. Payment is neither given nor received. Exchange cannot be made. There are no substitutes, and nothing is replaced by something else. God's laws forever give and never take. Hear him who tells you this, and realize how foolish are the laws you thought upheld the world you thought you saw. Then listen further. He will tell you more about the love your Father has for you, about the endless joy he offers you, about his yearning for his only Son, created as his channel for creation, denied to him by his belief in hell. Let us today open God's channels to him, and let his will extend through us to him. Thus is creation endlessly increased. His voice will speak of this to us, as well as the joys of heaven which his laws keep limitless forever. We will repeat today's idea until we have listened and understood there are no laws but God's. Then we will tell ourselves as a dedication with which the practice period concludes. I am under no laws but God's. We will repeat this dedication as often as possible today, at least 4 or 5 times an hour, as well as in response to any temptation to experience ourselves as subject to other laws throughout the day. It is our statement of freedom from all danger and all tyranny. It is our acknowledgement that God is our Father and that his Son is saved. Okay, that is lesson number 76 of A Course in Miracles. I am under no laws but God's. Yes, of course, because there is nothing but God. But where can we look for God? Well, this lesson tells us where to look for God. When it reads, look for it where it waits for you, and there it will be found. Look nowhere else, for it is nowhere else. Yes, and where does it wait for you but in the emptiness of this present moment? It tells us to look nowhere else, for it is nowhere else. Yes, nowhere but this present moment, in the thoughtless state of nothingness. This lesson is asking us to look within, in the formless, in that which can't be seen. Nowhere being the absence of a place, the absence of a location, the absence of a thing, and also the absence of time. And what has no location, no point of reference, no form, and no time, but the forgotten eternal now, the kingdom of heaven. And this lesson tells us how to find the kingdom of heaven by dismissing all foolish, magical beliefs today, and holding your mind in silent readiness to hear the voice that speaks the truth to you. Yes, meaning that you won't find the kingdom of heaven outside yourself, where the ego would have you look. God is found in silence, and silence and this present moment are one. That's why it reads that you will be listening to one who says there is no loss under the laws of God. Payment is neither given nor received. Exchange cannot be made. There are no substitutes, and nothing is replaced by something else. Yes, and I would like to expand on what is meant by payment is neither given nor received. Exchange cannot be made. Well, exchange cannot be made because for an exchange to happen, two are required to exist, and truth is eternally one and indivisible. There is only one appearing as the many. That's why what you do to others, you do to yourself. Because whoever is in your presence is always the Self, the Christ, the Holy Spirit, whichever word you prefer to use. But coming back to the subject of salvation, where does the apparent individual usually look for salvation? Well, in senseless things, in people, in the world, in locations, in time. Limiting salvation to external objects, to form, for its protection and survival. Forgetting the power of the absolute within, the only power there is. And that's why in this lesson it reads, the laws of God can never be replaced. Of course, how can truth be replaced if God is the only life and mind right now, with no alternate? And that's why truth sets us free, meaning God sets us free, meaning the now sets us free. And what is freedom but to be free from the body-mind, from I, from the idea of separation, that which seems to keep us bound to time. That's why it reads that magic imprisons, but the laws of God make free. The light has come because there are no laws but His. Yes, the body-mind imprisons, but the power of this present moment, God, sets us free. In other words, to rely on the body-mind for salvation is to believe in magic, that which keeps us stuck in the same perpetual cycle of time with seemingly no way out. But to rely on God, on the power of the eternal now, is the only invisible path to the kingdom of heaven. That's why in this lesson it reads, your magic has no meaning. What it is meant to save does not exist. Only what it is meant to hide will save you. Yes, there is no meaning, no reality to the ego's ways of salvation, which is always sought outside itself. It clearly states that the ego's ways cannot save you because it doesn't exist. And just to be clear, what this lesson is saying is that you don't exist. There is no you. All power comes from within, where the ego never dares to look, because if it did, it would confirm its own unreality. I hope you enjoy practicing lesson number 76. Please let me know if you have any questions, and see you tomorrow for lesson number 77. Have a wonderful day. Bye.